At this point, this show needs to be called like the rise and fall of Lonnie Lincoln Tombstone, because I'm starting to become more invested in him than I am Peter. And welcome to my Safe Gayven, everybody. Thank you guys for clicking on another video and joining me here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. Happy Black History Month. So let me introduce myself. This is your first time checking out one of my videos. My name is Michael. I call myself the Black Gay Comic Geek, and I always say the things that I love to talk about here on my channel has blood, sex, gore, and magic, or any variation of the four. So I like to talk about superheroes, comic books, animated movies, horror movies. I mostly just talk fantasy here on the show, and I like to talk about Black representation and queer representation. So if that's something that you're interested in, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Guys, I am only 6 subscribers away from hitting 10,000 subscribers. You hear that right. I am only 6 subscribers away from hitting 10,000 subscribers. So guys, please watch this video all the way through and all my videos for the watch time, for the algorithm, and then also most importantly, well, that's the most important, but then also just as important, hitting that like button. That gives the YouTube algorithm permission to say, hey, people like this video. Let's push this video out to more people so then more eyes can come on the channel and more eyes can subscribe, and I can hit that milestone and go even beyond that. Go beyond plus ultra. So if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. Now, guys, we are here to talk spoilers for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I don't know why they're doing this, because they dropped 3 episodes last week, and the show is only like 8 episodes or so, so we're basically almost done with the first season. Again, I don't know why they're rushing through it like this, but let's talk these latest 3 episodes for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Again, spoilers if you haven't seen it. Hopefully you have by now, because it's been almost a week, but first 3 episodes of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So with this review, or with this conversation, because there were 3 episodes that dropped at the same time, I'm not going to do like a play-by-play. So the beginning of the episode opened with this and this, and then I'm just going to just generally talk through my thoughts and certain moments that called out to me within these first 3 episodes. And so in the beginning of that 3rd episode that dropped, you see Peter and Norman workshopping different costumes for Peter to wear. And this is, I feel like, a perfect moment that they could have showed like and dropped Easter eggs for different iterations of Spider-Man throughout the comics, but they did like random, like he was in like a bee outfit, or not a bee outfit, but like an insect outfit, and all these other different type of outfits that they had with Spider-Man. But I guess it kind of makes sense where if they did do like the famous black suit that we know of, people would probably be like, oh, I want to do that, I want to do that. But we obviously see once he got his final suit, they're going the Future Foundation suit, which honestly, the Future Foundation, the white and black suit, that's my favorite. Besides the black suit, that's my favorite Spider-Man suit. So I'm actually glad they went that route. But this is a perfect moment that they could have did that. But also, I feel like, because granted, we don't know if they're going to go, because this is an alternate universe, if this version of Norman Osborn is going to become the Green Goblin, if he's going to become a villain. But just in these 3 episodes alone, specifically the workshopping between Peter and Norman, I was like, if he does become a villain, this right here, I can see why he's going to end up becoming that route. Because with him being a billionaire and the CEO of his own company, he's very meticulous about how he wants things to be. And it was almost kind of like he was running Spider-Man as if he was his own creation, more or less, or his own product. And even in like the back and forth between the two of them, I was like, if Norman ends up becoming a villain, this is exactly why, because he's going to want Peter, or expect Peter to operate in a certain way or do things in a certain way, but Peter's going to do things in the way Peter's going to do them. He's going to do things in his own way. So that's what Norman, not in a villain type of way, but in a way, well, if you want something done, you got to do it yourself. He's going to create his own super soldier serum or super serum so he can become a superhero and do things the way he thinks they need to be done and not in the way Peter's doing them. But the serum is going to end up backfiring and misfiring. And that's where he gets the multiple personality disorder and goes villainous and becomes the Green Goblin. I see, like, for me, the writing is on the wall for that. But I do like seeing this more helper side of Norman Osborn. You could definitely tell, at least for now, because again, we don't know if he's going to go the villain route, but at least for now, he really does want to help. And despite him being a billionaire CEO of this great, fantastical science corporation, he still feels like there's more that he can do. And that's also part of the downfall of a lot of these science characters. There's always more that they feel like they can do, and then they end up causing sometimes more harm than good. They could, like Tony Stark in the MCU with Ultron, and even Batman, where in the comics he created this whole brother's eye thing, this AI thing that ended up more or less taking over the whole world. Superheroes and AI is always a thing. But we also see that Harry Osborn found out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. But I do kind of wish that they were at least friends first before he found out his secret identity. Like, there was even a moment where he was kind of like, "What's your name again?" And like, for me, it didn't land as hard as if they were already friends and then he found out his secret identity, because right now they don't know each other. So, I mean, I guess you could still say somebody found out Peter's identity, but like the impact of it wasn't as strong, because like, yeah, you don't know who he is from a kid, like, you don't know who he is. So it's like, doesn't matter if he's Spider-Man, because you can't even be like, "Oh, Peter Parker, Spider-Man." Like, you don't even know this man's name or this kid's name. And then maybe it's just me, but it kind of creates the question of, are you being friends with me because I'm Spider-Man? And then you can say the same thing with Harry, like, are you being friends with me because I'm Harry Osborn? Like, there's no real establishment of a friendship there. I mean, I guess you can have that develop later on, especially now that Harry is going to be his guy in the chair. There was another way that they said it. I don't remember but basically his man in the chair when Osborn isn't around, and they kind of say that allude to Harry is also pretty smart. But with that, I do notice that this world that they're trying to build within the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, it's almost like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. And what I mean by that is, yes, I understand that originally this show was supposed to be a prequel series to Tom Holland's Spider-Man. It was originally going to be called Spider-Man Freshman Year, and it took place before Civil War. But then as they were making the show, they decided to have it take place in an alternate universe so they could do whatever they wanted with the storyline. And so it does not take place in the movie's MCU. But again, what I'm saying about trying to have their cake and eat it too, it's like this show takes place in an alternate universe, but at the same time, they're still having a lot of callbacks and moments and references to the MCU, like the Civil War movie, the fight scene, the Sokovian Accords. They show the Avengers, and it's the same Avengers from the movies. So I'm like, are you trying to make this an alternate universe or not? Like, which one is it? But I guess that's they're having a Sokovia Accords. I guess it makes sense only in this aspect, because then that could be their way of saying, because you know, a lot of times especially when you get into a shared universe, and being that most of these superheroes all fight in New York, you can be, well, if there's this big old fight, where's the Avengers? Where's Iron Man? Where's this? Where's that? I guess if the Avengers are now in hiding, you won't necessarily have that conversation. You won't have to be like, well, where's Iron Man? Where's Thor? Where's Cap? The Avengers are in hiding. It's the Sokovia Accords, whatever. So there are no Avengers right now, but also, with that, there could be the conversation of Spider-Man potentially having to register, because they did bring that up with the conversation between Nico and Peter, that, oh, people with powers should have to register. But then it also makes me wonder, is Nico going to get powers as well? But with that said, in these 3 episodes, speaking of somebody potentially getting powers, these 3 episodes focused a lot on Lonnie Lincoln, and it kind of goes to show the dichotomy, because Peter Parker and Lonnie are almost 2 sides of the same coin. And probably had it not been for the mentor figure that he has with Norman Osborn, he could have potentially gone the route of Lonnie. Because in many ways, Lonnie and Peter kind of have the same hero complex. They feel like they have to save everybody. They have to be the one that looks good. Like, even think about the fact that Lonnie didn't have the money. He didn't realize until after the fact, but he didn't have the money to pay for everybody's lunch. And instead of actually admitting it, or, you know, being like, hey, because he had like $40, because he pulled out the 220s. But then I was also like, how much is school lunch, where even $40 wasn't enough? But he pulled, and instead of admitting like, oh, like, I don't have enough, Like, can one of you guys spot me like $10 and I'll pay for the rest or whatever? He basically let himself starve by only getting an apple because he didn't want to admit that he didn't have any money, as if that was like shame. I'll tell a friend all the time, I'm broke. Like, can you buy my food? Like, there's no shame. Granted, I don't feel good about it, but I'm like, a closed mouth don't get fed. But Lonnie has this hero complex. Same with Peter. He has that's why you think he's Spider-Man. He has this hero complex. But obviously the big difference is Peter at least has powers. So like, you're literally a superhero. But also going with him being the quarterback and the star player, like he's used to being like the center of attention. And so because of that, that's getting him or got him further into trouble when he went to go try to get his brother, and he ended up trading his brother's life for his life, more or less, and joining that gang, the 12th Street gang. And now we see the slow descent into him becoming, because I was always questioning whether, as soon as they mentioned Lonnie Lincoln, I was like, Lonnie Lincoln, that's Tombstone from the comics. And I was like, well, maybe they won't go that route, because we see like Ned Leeds in the MCU. That's Peter Parker's best friend, but in the comics, that's the Hobgoblin, the villain known as the Hobgoblin. So I was like, well, maybe they won't go that route. He's not going to be the Tombstone that we know from the comics. Well, they're apparently going that route. He is going, maybe he might not get the power or whatever of him, but by the end of that 3rd episode, they're calling him Tombstone, or the 5th episode. And he even said, I kind of like that name. I was like, no, Lonnie, no. Again, he likes the attention. Now he's getting the attention from the gang, and he's feeding off of it. He's gravitating towards it. He's kind of like the Lady Gaga song, I live for the applause, applause, applause. Now that they're applauding him, he's like, oh yeah, I kind of feel this. Not like, no, this is a gang and I have my whole life ahead of me. I could be a star quarterback in the NFL. Come on, Lonnie. Come on, Lonnie. But going back to Spider-Man real quick, one thing I am kind of wondering, and I'm just like, what is with the MCU? Granted, it's not the official MCU, but what is with their version of Spider-Man not really having spider sense? Because like, while Spider-Man was fighting those villains with the tech, I don't know who they are, but I was just like, does he not have spider sense? Because like when the guy was running around, I was like, his spider sense should be like helping him avoid them. Is that something that maybe because he is a new Spider-Man, maybe he's going to develop it later on, like he's going to slowly develop his powers as opposed to him having everything all at once. Almost kind of like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. He didn't really get his spider sense until the Mysterio movie, the second movie. And it wasn't until like the end of that second movie that he got his spider sense. So I'm like, are they gonna do the same thing with that? But yeah, especially being that the season is almost over, I stand by what I said in my first review, where I was like, I feel like this show granted, I'm really enjoying this show so far. This show is way better than I anticipated it to be. I thought it was not gonna be that good, or it was gonna be okay. I'm like, no, this is pretty good. But I still wish, and I think this show would still be even better had they had more episodes, had they had maybe 18 episodes, 15 episodes, especially for animation, especially also considering how many characters they're dropping with the Amadeus Cho, Nico Minoru, Lonnie Lincoln, Harry Osborn, Norman Osborn, etc. Like, we see Doctor Strange, we see that there's references to Iron Man, Captain America. Like, you could flesh out this world way more having more episodes, and being that it is an animation, which is also technically, I think, is cheaper than live action, and you could do so much more with animation than you can in live action. Why? Like, I'm tired of these 8-episode seasons. And I'm gonna say that till I'm blue in the face. Like, again, especially since this is animated, why can't we get like an 18-episode animated season? Yeah, the show is almost over. And like, I feel the same way with Invincible, which, you know, I'm gonna be reviewing Invincible. I am planning on going live tonight to talk about Invincible. Even something like Invincible. Invincible is like 144 issues, and there's so much that happens in the comic. So for there to only be 8 episodes a season, there's going to be so much that's left on the table that they can talk about, that fleshes and opens up the world. And I'm just like, what? Like, again, especially when it comes to animation, why are you only doing 8 episodes? But anyway, that's a whole nother rant. But at the end of the day, I'm still liking this show, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I didn't talk about, but I can't really think of anything. I think that's the only things that like called out to me that I really wanted to bring up. So if there's anything that I missed, you can bring it up in the comment section below. Just because the video's over doesn't mean the conversation's ending. So what do you think about these last 3 episodes of your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Leave all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Hopefully they give Nico a girlfriend. so they can make it more gay, you know, make it gayer. That's my motto. Make it blacker, make it gayer. They're already making it blacker with the whole Lonnie Lincoln thing. Now let's make it gayer. I'm like, Lonnie and Peter, let's put them together. This is an Elseworld story after all. And you mean to tell me in the infinite realms of the multiverse there's not one bisexual Peter Parker? Like, miss me with that. But anyway, what did you think about these 3 episodes of Spider-Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Again, I am 6 subscribers away for hitting 10,000 subscribers, so hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. Tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow, and hit that like button. That'll help with the YouTube algorithm and getting this video out there, getting my channel out there so I can continue to grow. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.